These comments used to bother me when I first started, but now I just think they're kind of sad because someone just hasn't had the ability to educate themselves, understand what we're talking about. And it goes like this: You should get on with your life and let your wife rest in peace. And we're talking about alcohol use disorder. And again, I was married for 25 years, and my wife unfortunately succumbed to the disease about 4.5 years ago. And on my page, not all of it, but a large part of it is telling stories of a lot of the toxicity and frustration and drama that she went through and our family went through as a result of her escalation in the disease and her physical and mental deterioration over the years. And it took, it was a good 2 decades of decline. And it was an education on my part because I'd never been around an alcoholic and just understanding it. And so much of this page, it really centers around those stories. And I actually have a memoir of my wife. It's called Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism, which is set to come out in really a few days. This is actually the book, the page, and the back of it. And it's quite involved. And it's an important story because the way we progress and evolve as a species is by taking someone's life, dissecting it, and learning from it. The thing is, what does rest in peace actually mean, and what does that mean to someone who's saying it? Let's continue the conversation. Ultimately, rest in peace just means I'm uncomfortable with this conversation and I don't want to hear about it anymore because I think we should take alcoholism and drug addiction and we should sweep it under the rug and not talk about it because I'm uncomfortable talking about it because it's an icky thing and we shouldn't be talking about icky things and things that happen to people's life. Well, this is reality. We lose about 180 to 185,000 people in the United States due to this disease and about 3.5 million people worldwide. So it affects indirectly and directly about 50% of the population. So yeah, it's a big deal and it needs to be talked about. It needs to be exposed, it needs to come out of the closet, and we need to learn from this disease. I don't have a lot of patience for you should get on with your life and let your wife rest in peace. Uh, what people don't understand, these stories really at this point have nothing to do with me. It has really little to do with anything in my life, my current life. That was 4.5 years ago, going on 5 years this February. So yeah, I've long since moved on. It has nothing to do with me. To suggest otherwise means I'm sorry if you don't follow me and you haven't watched some other videos. But before people make comments like this, maybe they should and understand what the page is about and really get caught up. And in my opinion, it's one of the most important subject matters you can do. And in using social media to get this kind of information out is absolutely essential because it saves lives. It has the ability to bring families together, isolate issues, know what to do, where to go, and how to approach the disease as a family member, and recognizing in yourself if you have a problem, if you're an alcoholic or a drug addict or have some kind of issue like this. It's important. It's actually essential because healthcare is the first most important thing in our lives. Nothing comes before your health, okay? Because you can't continue your life without having good health, mental and physical health. And that's what this page is about, and it addresses it through the story of my wife. So I hope that makes sense. Hope that gives you some clarity and understanding of what we're doing here. So unfortunately, to disappoint this commenter, I'm not going to get on with my life. In fact, we're just wrapping this thing up. I plan on doing a TED Talk. We have novels coming. I have this book coming out. I have an entire coaching program that's designed to help families and alcoholics in their families called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. We also have a Facebook group. I have a couple thousand people and growing in the Facebook groups that we have. Again, link is in the bio to join that. It's a wonderful support group, and this disease actually takes community to get through it. Community for family and community for the alcoholic. Alcoholism, alcohol use disorder, loves isolation. It thrives on getting people isolated, depressed, filled with anxiety, and repressed emotions. And if you go to a group therapy like AA or Smart Recovery or LifeRing or any of the group therapies, as well as some of the ones that I've established, it's the first ground floor of getting help and understanding what's going on with the disease. So I think it's more important to actually do something about it rather than just sweep it under the rug. For this commenter and anybody else that has this rather disparaging mentality, don't. Hope you learned something. And again, thanks so much for listening.